the
Good evening. Welcome to the show tonight. Tonight on our panel, we got Amanda Kitts, Christine Clegg, and of course, I'm Joe Anderson. Thank you all for joining us here on our brand new ATWD&H live roundtable. If you will, please sound off in the comments so you are entered in our weekly prize giveaway. It'd be greatly appreciated. This week, we're talking about House of Wax, the 1953 versus the 2005 reimagining of the movies. If you don't want to know what a reimagining is, well, you got a reboot, which is when they take a movie and they are basically making it according to that same movie that you had before, just kind of changing it around a bit. A reimagining is basically the same name of the movie, but it's completely different than what you've seen before. The 1953 movie is an actual remake of the 1933 The Mystery of the Wax Museum. So, if you want to know what a remake is, if you've watched Psycho with Anthony Perkins versus Vince Vaughn, then you'll know that that was an actual remake because they pretty much made it word for word, scene for scene. So, with that being said, what was your all's first thoughts when you saw the first movie?
I think the first movie to me is classic horror. It's got Vincent Price in it, so you can't go wrong. Like, he's the master of horror. So I thought it was a classic. I haven't seen the 1930s one, but I thought it was. I really enjoyed it. Like, you can't. It's hard to compare from those eras because, of course, they didn't have the special effects back in that first one. But I think what they lacked in that, I guess, they made up for with a cast, with not just Vincent Price, but they had a great cast, a supporting cast. So I think that was one thing that I noticed more so. It was more classic horror with Vincent Price being in the movie, whereas the other one, I guess it sort of became a bit more of a slasher film, and even watching how it began and the sort of setting to me seemed to be like this. It was sort of copying some other movies, earlier movies, like where you got your young people arriving somewhere, deserted town, that sort of thing. So two movies totally different, but can be enjoyed, for what they were and how they were presented.
Right. Yep. What about you, Amanda? What do you think?
I would have to agree with Christine. I really liked the classic because I felt like with the remake, I already knew where it was going.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, so, yeah. And at first I didn't think I would like it, but I really did.
Right. Well, I always thought the older movies were better because they didn't have all that, like Christine said, they didn't have all that movie magic that they had. But, that being said, I like the horror, and I like it whenever it's like it whenever there's more death and destruction more than just the older style. That's just my opinion on that. Whenever did the movies fit your expectations?
Well, the 2005 movie has Paris Hilton in it, so you're sort of looking at that movie with her in it, comparing it to one with Vincent Price. So I went into the 2005 one preparing to be very underwhelmed, but I was actually surprised. She played her character well, I guess, and the ending of her was great. So
it was perfect. It was perfect.
Yes, it was exactly perfect. But yeah, I think I went in with low expectations, but I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, that second one. So yeah, I'd seen the first one, and so I guess I was sort of thinking it's not going to be really the same. I knew that they would change up things, and that, which can be good. You don't necessarily want it to be word for word the same. But yeah, I think I enjoyed the second one more than I thought I would, because I sort of went in thinking, this is just going to be remake of so many other types of movie of that genre. So around that time. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
Right. Yep. How about you, Amanda?
Now, mine is the opposite. I didn't think I would like the classic as good as I did, and it blew me away. And like I said, as with the second one, I've watched it so many times that I don't know, it kind of gets boring after a few times.
Yeah.
But I feel like I could watch that classic over and over and not get bored.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a classic. That's why they call it, because it's 1953. You sort of sacrifice the fact that not as many good special effects, but I still think the fire at the start of that 1953 movie, that didn't need special effects. That was creepy, that was scary, that was intense. And then Vincent Price, he's just got that. He's just scary. He's creepy. I mean, he looked totally different to the ones in the 2005 movie, when there were like two characters basically. But I just think with him in it, and just the classic horror movie settings, it was scary enough without having all of the effects.
And Babcock just said that she liked the classic better. So, I mean, I can remember seeing the classic, I mean, a long time ago when I was a kid, with the Saturday night creature feature on the Opticure channels after midnight. So I can remember watching all those older movies like that. And of course, whenever I saw the first House of Wax the second time, I never even thought about the original one whenever I saw it, because they had nothing to do with each other, so I just never really thought about it. Tina Dugan Burns said loves the classic. And yes, Anna, we can see your comments. Thank you for being here tonight. Let's see here. We've talked about Vincent Price, and of course, nobody really wanted to see Paris Hilton. Was there any other actors or actresses that their performance stood out to you?
I don't know. I think in the second movie. The second movie was more of an ensemble cast. Some were known. Paris Hilton. I mean, I swear she was just in there because of her name, and it was, I'm pretty sure everyone was secretly hoping that she would die early on. But I mean, it's not the worst movie I've seen her in, but it's also not, she's not great. But I don't know. Like, I think when you're looking at Vincent Price, he didn't carry the movie by himself, but I think the movie didn't really actually need too many others because of the fact they had him. There was that whole, we're just here for him. But I don't know. I can't really think. In the second movie, I don't know. There wasn't anyone that really stood out. They weren't bad. I thought it was classic, well, not classic, like early 2000s sort of. You got your whole slasher movies around that time, and I think it sort of towed that line. It was sort of more a remake or a whole lot of other movies mashed into that, the whole setting, the rural setting, and the car breaking down and having to go into this town, and that was all sort of quite predictable. But not to say I didn't like it, but it was just, it wasn't. The two movies are so totally different, and they can be enjoyed for their own, their own good bits. But I think the Vincent Price in the first one, he's really the only actor that really stood out for me. I don't know.
Anna Babcock said it scared the poopy out of her.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure she said that she liked the kill of Paris. It didn't really say, so I'm putting that as a guess, is what she was saying to that. What about you, Amanda? Was there any characters that stood out to you?
Well, in the remake, I really liked Chad Michael Murray, Nick, Carly's brother, which I've watched him in other things and had like a huge crush on him. So I guess that's probably why he stood out the most. But the girl who played Carly, I think she done a pretty good job too.
Right. Well, Elisha Cuthbert.
Yeah.
That was who played Carly.
That's right. Well, yes,
yeah.
she probably for me someone that stood out. Like I think when you're looking down, and I was looking at it and going through the actors and actresses last night, I'm thinking, oh, you know, probably her, definitely Elisha Cuthbert. So yeah, but I mean, it is hard to compare a classic like that. But
yeah,
that has changed so much really than the original one. So, but yeah.
Right. Anna said the classic one scared me as a kid. So
yes.
Yep. I never really got scared from those older movies. I don't know. I guess I just got a warped mind, and I never really didn't bother me too much. So
the old more. I mean, yes, it's scary, but it was more creepy. It was that sort of, you know, he often the shadows with his face, and you know, it was sort of sometimes it's more what you imagine is happening or imagine he's about to do more so than what actually happens with special effects. But yeah, I mean, wax museums are creepy. Anyway, I could never go into a wax museum. Seriously, they're just creepy. So you know, so these movies probably either made people want to see wax museums or made people like scared as anything, never want to go into one. But yes, I remember being creeped out by the 1953 one, and because I was much younger, and I remember the 2005 one being prepared for what it was going to be like. And I'd seen the video clips for it beforehand, and so I knew what to expect. You sort of, get so shocked by, someone burnt alive in wax, like.
Teresa Byrge-Irwin said that Carly stood out to her because she got her finger cut off, and she can relate to.
Oh yeah, every time I watch that scene, Teresa's the first person I think of.
Oh. Right. Well, what a thing to be able to relate to. Oh, that's crazy. Nice.
Right. So let's see here. As the effects have gotten better throughout the years, has that helped horror movies or hindered them, Amanda?
I would say kinda helped them, yeah. But I feel like they're all just the same now. It's all the same effects. As in the original, like you said, there wasn't none, so we didn't know what to expect.
Right. What about you, Christine?
I think, I would agree with that too, because the original didn't need all the effects to create this creepy feeling, this sort of sense of, something bad was going to happen. So they didn't need all the effects. I mean, movies now, like you couldn't make a movie without those effects because everyone is expecting it, especially in a horror movie. So I think the whole 2005 one was very graphic and very, gruesome and violent. And I think, I don't think it made it a bad movie, but I think without that, it didn't really have a whole lot. I think, just sort of set it apart like the 1953 one. It didn't have a whole lot because it was, I don't know, it was just a totally different storyline. And I think, I mean, it's good on its own as you go, oh, yeah, that's a good movie to watch. But, it was kind of predictable. And, without the effects, I don't think, obviously, it wouldn't have been the same. And it didn't have the same, it needed all those special effects, I think.
Right. Anna Babcock says imagination goes a lot further. Yeah, that's why I like reading books, because it does help you to see better. I think one of the biggest things that helped the older movies was the live orchestra that played the music. I think that they were able to get a better punch to the scariness of the movie than they get today with the canned music.
Yeah, true. Oh, yeah. You're never going to see movies like that again. So that sort of that time when they were doing movies like that, definitely all of that added to it. Going to the movies. I mean, I can't imagine. I think that would be like really cool. And I know when they showed this movie over here, they showed the 1953 one first, And yeah, and it was all sort of, we've got a couple of really old movie theatres up here, and they sort of showed both together, and they did have a live sort of orchestra, and it was, I didn't go, but it was just, it was like, that's clever, sort of showing the both of them. But yeah, I would agree, the orchestra bit would be, it sort of created the tension, created the, oh, what's going to happen, and more so like, canned music on a movie, you're watching it and you hear the music and it's getting intense, something's going to happen. But yeah, totally different to live music.
Right. Well, Tina Burns said that she really liked Vincent Price, and that I'm pretty sure she said something about the things are going by so fast that down here I can't read them all. There's something about the imagination, and the older shows were kind of better. So yeah.
Yeah.
For the, let's see here, what was the best kill of the movie?
The best, like, chilling bit.
Well, which kill did you like the best?
Oh, the best kill. Okay, I think in the first movie, it's the end when Vincent Price's character, like Henry, Jared, is, falling into the. I think that was the best one.
Yes,
we had all of the ones leading up to it, but that one was,
it was great.
Yeah, so I would think that one, and as I said, Paris Hilton in the second one.
Yeah.
It was just through the head. It's just, and I'm sure that it was a tongue-in-cheek sort of thing that everyone wants to see that happen to her because she's so cheesy and whatever. But yeah, hers for sure in the second one.
Right. Well, I think that there's like 3 iconic deaths, and Paris Hilton's death is one of the top 3 iconic deaths in horror movies at the moment. But I mean, the death in Ghost Ship where they take that wire and kill everybody on the stern of the ship. I think that's the best horror movie kill that they had out there. I was, the one that I was surprised about was when they showed Vincent Price hanging that guy. I thought that was something that I wouldn't see before. I mean, I don't think that they showed too much suicide and stuff like that. I know that the first time they ever showed a toilet flush was in Psycho, and I mean, this was way before then. So I think the suicide was maybe something that they didn't really try to get to him. I mean, I know he didn't suicide, but that's what they made it out to be.
Like, yeah. It's true. I never thought of that, but yeah, it's true. Yes, back then, this wasn't something that you saw in shows or movies. So yeah. When what's his name is trying to pull the wax off, who is it, Wade, and his face gets sort of taken off with it when he's trying to save him at the end.
Right. When he's just peeling away at his face. Oh.
Yes, yeah, that's.
What I want to know is how did they keep the house from not melting? I mean, it was sitting on top of that big wax melter.
Yeah.
So how did that house not melt every time they turned that sucker on?
Right. That's true. Yeah, because it only melted at the end when they, fire accidentally started. So, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I was surprised on that. Did the surprise of the 2 brothers being the psycho one was the actual good guy that you thought he was? Was that a surprise in the end or not?
Not for me. I knew he was going to be bad.
Yeah, I just
got that feeling as soon as he. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I mean, that's a sort of clever thing they use with the whole idea. Conjoined twins is sort of not creepy because, I mean, if they separate them, it's all good. But, yeah, I think it's a clever sort of thing to use, these 2 conjoined twins and, one's disfigured from the being separated. And, yeah, so that was a different sort of feel to it, a different, So that added to how creepy it was, I think. And it probably hasn't done a whole lot to raise a nice profile for conjoined twins. But It certainly was clever using it.
Anna Babcock wondered the same thing on the melting of the house. Whenever you know, then you got to the end and you saw the surprise brother sitting on the end of the tailgate. Was that surprising to anybody, or did you see that coming as well?
No, now that did surprise me.
Yes, I didn't see that one coming, and I remember watching it and then rewatching that end bit to see if I got that right. I'm thinking, oh, so he is the brother, and then I was trying to remember back because he was right. I mean, he was sort of there in it, but then he wasn't in it. He sort of,
right.
took them, to the town and everything. Is the town a real town in Louisiana? Ambrose, is that a real town?
I don't know. We got all kinds of ghost towns out there these days, so it could have been. But,
yeah, no. I mean, it was it's totally different. It was a totally different setting to the one in New York. So yeah, I just wondered. I was thinking, I wonder if it's an actual town. But
right. Could I mean, with them having the surprise of a town being in use, the cops could come in and said that they didn't even know that anybody lived there anymore. Is that an actual possibility to be able to drain resources from, electric and power and all this, and people still not know that there's people still out there?
That's probably not very believable because they weren't living off the grid, were they? They were, so probably not. But so for the police to say yes, oh yeah, we didn't know this has been deserted since the sugar mill closed down or whatever. So that's probably not really believable. But I think you got to watch these movies and just suspend all of that, expectation that it's going to make sense. Especially the 2005 one. You look at it and think, that couldn't happen. No way.
Right.
Anna said I'll have to look that up. Somebody, I think it was Anna or Tina earlier, brought up the fact on wax museums and how creepy they are. I always liked the wax museums. When I was in the service, every time I came across a wax museum, I would always go into it. I thought they were, coming from a small town in Missouri, it was seeing wax museum stuff on TV, and there's a lot. If you've never been in there, it's just surprising how intricate all those mannequins are, and it's surprising how true to life they are. Amanda, what do you think of the wax museums? What's your idea?
I have never been in one, but they look like they'd be pretty awesome. I think I'd go hang out for a little while.
I've never been in one either. I don't even know if we have one any over here. We must, I guess. I think of the one over in, what's that, Madame Tussauds, the one in England? In England?
Tussauds?
Yeah.
I think the name's Tussauds.
But imagine if you were caught in there after dark. That's always my thing, They shut the doors, accidentally still in there, and
forget about you.
Agitation goes crazy. Right. Oh, creepy.
They're really. Anna says they are creepy. What I really liked about the wax museums is, in the original one, Vincent Price was going how he didn't want to have that the part where they go down in the dungeon and do all the serial killer stuff and all that, and they actually have those down there, and I always thought they were pretty interesting because you got to see the rack and all these different things that people did. The Ambrose, Louisiana is a fictional, rather forgotten and desolate little community on rural Route 10 north of the towns of Jones Creek and Smallwood, 28 miles north of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So it's thank you to my son. He got that information for us out there. So
thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Is there Anything else that I didn't cover that you all wanted to bring up tonight?
No.
No, I think I'm pretty right with what we've talked about.
All right, Amanda, why don't you tell us what you got coming up on the ATWD&H Facebook page?
Or my game?
Yep, your game.
Starting tomorrow, All Thangs Horror Trivia is going live. It'll be every Friday night at 7:30 p.m. on different horror movies. Our first movie, of course, would have to be Friday the 13th because it's on Friday the 13th.
Again, it's your day, and we try to.
And I will announce what movie will be over, what it'll be over on Mondays. That way, everyone has plenty of time to watch the movie and then come play. I will have a weekly winner, but I will also have for each person who answers a question right, each question will be worth a different amount of points, and those points will be put towards the big prize that someone will win in October.
Oh,
so I am very excited.
Yeah.
And let me say this real fast. Anna Babcock said that she went into the serial killer one in Niagara Falls. So that would be something interesting to talk to her about. I'm all into the serial killer genre and watching the true crime stuff on TV. So that's what I do. Christine, you got something going this month?
Yes. So I mean, we've started in August, and it's I guess to encourage people more to get involved, and like we love hearing from all the different members. And when I post things, Amanda, Joe, or Teresa, and people respond to that, we really love it. And I think we just wanted to see people just joining in a bit more with their own posts about the different topics, because from Monday right through to Sunday, there are different topics for each day, and that's sort of just like a guide to say, hey, this is what we can all talk about. And so yeah, I've noticed so many more people posting, which is fantastic. You know, all our different themes: Man Crush Monday, Woman Crush Wednesday, Walker Thursday, all of those sort of things. Fantastic. And also like taking an interest in what other people are posting and commenting on that, joining in things like this, the discussion group that Joe does on the, what night's that? Get confused with our time. No, that's Monday. Joining in with the live when the show comes back next week, 22nd, joining in there with the live discussion that Teresa does when we're actually watching it, and then all the games, like Amanda's got the games and Teresa's got her games as well. So just looking across, like for a whole month, we're going to have like a monthly winner of this monthly participation prize. So it's just getting involved and just a way that we can all get to know each other, because this is such a cool group, and it's just really nice, like chatting with different ones. Like when I did the Fun Day Sunday thing where people talk about something special about where they live, love that. And it's good just to see all different things like that. So top of the page, you'll see where it has what is on for each day and what the themes are, and you can do the hashtag for those themes, and then you can see what other people have posted. If you're not sure what Man Crush Monday means, look up some previous posts and you'll see, that's what we can do. And I mean, it's really anything goes. Like, I mean, not anything real bad, but, you know, what you can find to do with the different Walking Dead shows, to do with the different horror movies. So,
yeah, and it really don't necessarily have to be Walking Dead or horror. If your Man Crush Monday is someone else, that's fine too. Yeah. You can post them too.
Exactly, true. And the same goes with the sort of a new one that we have on the Thursday, the Show and Tell Thursday, where we're sort of inviting people to show what they have that makes them a fan, I guess, or their sort of fan crush moments that they might have had. And a lot of people are posting, which is great, seeing all the different memorabilia Walking Dead. Someone's got so much, I'm so jealous. All the different ones that people have got, or people who've done the tours. I'd love to do that, or gone to Comic-Con, because we don't have it over here, or not that I know of, and that is on my bucket list to go to one of those places. So if you've got an experience like that, or you've met someone, you've got a picture of you with You know, Norman Reedus, it's like, put it up, make us all jealous. And or once again, as Amanda said, it doesn't have to just be about horror movies or The Walking Dead. If you met someone else famous, same thing, tell us about it or show us. And if you've met nobody, just make it up. No. But yeah, so if you look, you'll see all the different themes right through Monday to Sunday, and yeah, it's just cool. Just cool. I sort of look forward each day to seeing what people have got, and yeah, so at the end of each month we'll be able to go through and check who's done what, and it's just, you know, rewarding people who are, you know, getting involved. I guess everyone loves to get a prize, and it's just cool. I think people enjoy the group more, seeing so many different people responding to posts or posting their own stuff.
Right.
So yeah, so that's started. I mean, I can't believe we only just started. It seems like yesterday, and now we're almost coming to the end of August. So
I know.
So, which is good though, because we're getting to the 22nd. So coming up.
And from our last post on tonight, Tina Burns said that she went to the Black Museum in Louisiana, and she said she liked it a lot. I know that tonight Mike is in the game room after the show, and he's going to be playing Layers of Fear. And if you all will join us next week, we're going to be doing a special edition for the upcoming last season of The Walking Dead. So meet us all here at 8 o'clock next week. Until then, it's been great. Thanks.
See ya.